Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Texas Podcast. This is your well edition, and as you can hear my voice, I am a happy man. What happened on Monday Night Football just blessed me out of the room.
Are you sure?
But before we get, you know me down there, the so as you know, my partner Dallas went out.
I'm doing good. The troll in me is doing fantastic. That's why I want to make sure, is this the road you want to go down real quick before I burst your bubble?
You ain't bursting my bubble. I can burst my bubble and they already burst their own damn bubble.
Because when you tried to quote unquote bust your own bubble, that was before there were two teams in your division with 8 wins, which means that there's 2 teams in your division with a 3-game lead.
You want that wrong range already, see that? See, that's what happens when you try to cut in on my fun. Now, I'm happy because there's no unbeaten teams left in the NFL. And quite frankly, I picked both of them right, by the way. So, San Francisco went down to Seattle in overtime on Monday Night Football. With Seattle on the bye week now, that means San Fran still has a shot of having full control of the division, which they should because they're playing the Cardinals. That shouldn't be a hard task for them to bounce back on. So by the end of week 11, San Francisco will still be in front of the NFC West, followed by Seattle with 2 games too. That makes me want to. In a week where Dallas, what do you want to call this week that happened in the NFL?
Oh, it was chaotic. It was asinine. It was absurd. A lot of bad things happened to a lot of good people.
Somehow, the Falcons looked like they were 7-1, and the Saints looked like they were 7-1.
Man,
but teams come out bye weeks.
Yeah, and Drew Brees, hey, it happens. People think that you're just going to come back in and stuff is going to be sweet. Drew Brees came back to almost a completely different team. So,
Dallas, before I even get into that, I'm just going to say this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, my Los Angeles Rams will not make the playoffs.
Oh, well, hey.
You'll be home with me. I'm saying it right here, right now. You can mark it down. Week 11, I have gave up on the season. We will not make the playoffs. I'll explain why a little bit later. But I'm not the only one who's up. I'm not the only one. I'm mad about my Rams, but Dallas is mad about something else. That's a team he like to pick on so much. And they caught the Kansas City Chiefs.
I know. Darnell, you see, here's the difference between me and you. You like to get emotional. You like to pick with your heart. I'm logical. I'm objective. Darnell, this is the best thing that could have happened to Jacksonville Jaguars fans. This is the best thing that could have happened to the AFC South. Ryan Tannehill walked up in there and won a game he had no business winning. The Kansas City Chiefs special teams and defense walked up in there and lost a game they had no business losing. Darnell, hopefully this is the perfect storm because Tennessee is going to do what Tennessee does. Tennessee is going to win just enough games to where they're outside of the top 10. They're going to lose out on all the major quarterbacks, and they're probably going to pick defense, or they're probably going to pick some wide receiver or tight end where you're like, let me Google him real quick. I think he was good, but let me Google him real quick. I hope Ryan Tannehill earned a contract off this win. I hope Ryan Tannehill is the guy for Mike Vrabel, a defensive coach who has leaned on his running game and leaned on his potentially elite defense. I hope and pray that this was the signature win that Ryan Tannehill needed to revive his career as a franchise quarterback in the NFL. Because if that is the case between Nick Foles / Gardner Minshew, Deshaun Watson, and Jacoby Brissett, everybody's going to be doing the stealth face Stephen A. Smith meme when they announce the contract. And we're all going to be happy and go on about our damn business. Congrats to Tennessee. I'm not going to take that away from him. That's a huge win. I'm starting to wonder what the hell is going on with Kansas City and if Andy Reid is pulling a classic Andy Reid, but that's that.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes comes back and he takes that L.
It's crazy because it's like
throw for 500 yards and 8 touchdowns to win the game.
That's the sad thing. It's like, bro, Patrick Mahomes is the Kansas City Chiefs are literally going to be the embodiment of the new NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be exactly what the current legislation in the NFL really wants the game to be. Roger Goodell wants ratings. Roger Goodell wants every game to be like it's really Madden. And the Kansas City Chiefs are literally the human personification of what Roger Goodell really wants the game to be, but he just can't get.
Boy, that was another surprise.
Quick question real quick, because we're on the topic of Kansas City Chiefs and I don't really see, besides picking them, how we're going to talk about them again. Does this worry you long term, or is this one of those like the Drew Brees thing, like just got to get back on the wagon, got to get the wheels back straight?
Do they have a defense?
Because 6-4 with that defense, John Gruden, Josh Jacobs, Derek Carr, a bunch of underdogs just out there gunning around in the wild west, some gamblers who are about to be playing in Las Vegas next year. That bugs me. That really, really bugs me, because it's like, bro, like Patrick Mahomes can throw for 600 and lose by 14. I think the window isn't closed because Patrick Mahomes is going to be elite for a long time. But as far as this year goes, you got to think about the 49ers defense. You got to think about the Ravens defense. You got to think about the New England defense. You got to think about the Saints defense. You got to think about the Panthers defense. You got to think about the Packers offense that can shoot out with anybody else. Like, bro, the Chiefs are not winning a title this year, like, for sure. And I don't think that would have been such a no thing in week one. I don't think it would have been as obvious that the Kansas City Chiefs aren't winning a championship this year, earlier this season, as it is now.
So, that's that. Chicago won a game, albeit Matthew Stafford surprisingly didn't suit up out of nowhere.
It wasn't really a surprise if you really read about the situation, because it was weird to me. It did seem like it was out of nowhere, but apparently his back was hurt all week, and apparently there's going to be a thing because they listed him as questionable, but all his teammates said his back was so hurt he should have been listed as out. So, in the era of mismanagement in the nation's capital, having a franchise quarterback who's about a decade in, having a very, very hurt back and still trying to play at the last minute and nobody trying to corral him in, that's not a good look.
The Dolphins keep winning.
Thank you very much. I only wish Kansas City could have did their damn job. But I will take that. I will take the Miami Dolphins basically saying, Brian Hoyer in a blue jersey, y'all have fun with that. You're welcome.
I thought that was tanking.
It's hard to tank. It's hard to tank when the backup quarterback becomes the franchise quarterback, and then the franchise quarterback goes down too, and now you're just stuck with Brian Hoyer on his 7th team after winning a ring as a backup last year. Bro, the Colts are in a situation where it's my Lord, you don't want to draft the backup to Brissett because you don't want the backup to be better, and then you have to deal with that situation, and Brissett may be asking for a trade. But, that's a rough situation. Miami's out here on a streak.
They beat the Jets. They beat the Jets before. Who beat the Giants this past Sunday?
It's a bad week. If the Jets are one thing, because that it sucks that they won this week, because honestly that should have been the game to liberate that franchise. That franchise's fans. Those guys get paid to do what they're doing. The fans have to suffer through all this ineptitude for free. But the Dolphins fan base should be very happy, because it's Jesus, man. The coaches have us on a 2-game win streak, and after that game on Saturday, we might look up and get Burrow. We might not need to. So Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to come out here. And this is the weird thing, Darnell, because I, too, think that the Dolphins have a long-term plan. And you don't want to say that winning is an accident, but these past 2 wins weren't really supposed to happen. But what makes it weird now, though, is Ryan Fitzpatrick is Ryan Fitzpatrick. What you see is what you get. Ryan Fitzpatrick hasn't exactly been on, Pro Bowl laden teams. He hasn't exactly been on teams that were supposed to like be major contenders. Then the QB goes out in like week 1. He's been on average teams. And I'm pretty sure he has like a lot of wins on that below 500 record. So if you're truly trying to tank, why didn't you just keep Josh Rosen in? See, that's going to be the weird part about this with the Miami Dolphins, because it's like Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's about to rattle some stuff off. That man's a gamer. That man, Pat McAfee said he has a Harvard brain and the heart of a plumber. And that perfectly describes Ryan Fitzpatrick. So if you're truly trying to tank in Miami, I think Josh Rosen might need to get a start real quick.
Jason Garrett felt some type of way and decided to put the ball in Zeke Elliott's hand when Dak Prescott almost threw for 400 yards.
Dive. Take a dive, run a dive, lead dive, fullback dive. 3 straight times.
So, you're down 4, and Zeke Elliott hasn't done nothing all game. Dak Prescott is literally shredding the Vikings secondary, which means I'm surprised them 2 words actually went in the same sentence. But when it comes down to it, since you saw Dalvin Cook ran it in and was running over your defense, let's give it to Zeke. And what happened? You took an L on Sunday Night Football. Without them having Adam Thielen, by the way.
What's bothersome is with the Giants taking an L, with the Redskins deciding to go towards the future and see if the coach and GM who are around have their quarterback of the future or not. The Eagles are on a bye week. What's becoming very interesting is, Darnell, not only are the Cowboys being the Cowboys, but it's really looking like between how the Eagles and the Cowboys are looking right now. Bro, they might find a way to do it.
I kid you not, bro.
They might find a way to go 8-8. They might find a way to go 8-8 and make the play. Somebody's going 500
on the Eagles that week. Me and
but that's the think about it,
about us picking the Eagles to win that division. Lo and behold, we going to week 11 and the Cowboys still haven't got control of this division.
Bro, think about it. Like the Cowboys and Eagles, they can't beat anybody good. But then they win the games they're not supposed to win. They can't beat anybody good, but they win the games where it's like, oh, okay, there's the flash of brilliance. Then it's like, it's very hard to explain. Because I think as of right now, both teams are 5-4. As of right now, like if it was like the NBA where division championships don't really matter towards seeding, neither of these teams are in the playoffs right now. Like the way these teams look against elite teams, and Buffalo, that's a whole nother discussion for another time. But the way these teams look against the teams that they probably should have a chance against, but just look terrible against, and then the way they look against just absolute bottom feeders and rebound games, that is the epitome of a 500 team. It's primetime football, and you get down 14-0 early. Like it's primetime, the lights are on you, Cowboys, glitz and glamour, and all that stuff. Dak Prescott almost throws for 400 yards. Darnell, you can't. Your 4th-round guy, who is due for a contract this year, but you want to play hardball throughout the season and have him earn his contract. Dak Prescott is 3 yards away from 400 yards passing. And you try to put the ball through. Look, I am the ultimate proponent of the feature back. I am the ultimate proponent of run the damn ball. But, bro, like your quarterback almost threw for 400. You could have won the game. What were they trying to get, 2 yards? They spent 3 downs trying to get 2 yards? Like, come on, bro. The 500. This has 500 written all over it, because for the next 7 games, I think that means that they would have to go 3-4.
8.
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
8. 8-8.
Bro, and the crazy thing is, you know what? When I look at the Cowboys, Dak Prescott having to prove himself, Zeke Elliott trying to get paid, where after all those rushing yards, they ain't win a damn thing, and they got shut down in that game against the Rams in the divisional.
Matter of fact,
Amari Cooper.
He had this past Sunday night.
Yeah. You look at Amari Cooper. He's probably going to be the odd man out because Dak has definitely shown that just give me the damn ball. They paid the defense.
Amari Cooper out of this mix. It would be stupid.
Darnell, it would be stupid, and it's crazy. It's crazy because it would be stupid, and with the new league year coming up, Jerry was smart. He paid the defense. He paid the right tackle. He paid the running back. So now you only have two real feature players due. You can replace other guys in the draft. The salary cap is going up. It does seem like it would be stupid, especially because you heard that Jalen Smith's contract was team favorable. With that being said, let's be honest. If it came down to it, you pay the quarterback. While it is hard to replace Amari Cooper and his production, you pay the quarterback. And you keep drafting until you find you somebody who's halfway as decent as Amari Cooper. They gave Cole Beasley to Dak as a number one option. And they still went 500. Just give him somebody worth of salt and get him a real tight end. Poor Jason Witten. But yeah,
find a way to work it out. Pay both of them.
Yes. I'm starting to wonder if you're a Cowboys fan.
No, because I'm being realistic. Like, if you look before Amari Cooper got that and after Amari Cooper got that, it's clearly Amari Cooper is what Dak Prescott needed the whole time.
No, see, you're being realistic from an on the field, it makes sense perspective. But you have to think at the end of the day, if everybody could get paid, there would be no need for the trade deadline. There would be no need for the March bonanza and extravaganza. Hell, free agency would become a thing.
You have to realize, we're talking about Jerry Jones here.
No, see, here's the thing. He has the money. See, the raw financial capital is there. It's this thing called the salary cap and how you have to maneuver and finagle that. See, his son's going to have a real accounting job to do. Yeah, I think it can get done. You're not wrong. I'm just saying, if.
He the one behind the salary cap. So if anybody know how to work it, it's him.
All I'm saying is this. I agree with you. He needs to figure out a way to pay both because he paid everybody else and the salary cap is going to increase. What I am saying, though, in principle, is if it comes down to it, you can draft a wide receiver. You can't just go out and replace a quarterback.
Yeah, you got 3 ones coming out in the draft right now, so.
But where the Cowboys are going to be 8-8, Darnell. They're not going to be picking them. That's another problem when you go 8-8. You don't get to pick the top quarterbacks coming out. You don't get to capitalize on the guy with a bum ankle who just lost a big game. Nah, you just outside of range. Now you got to trade up. And that was a pick you could have used to trade for somebody else. A veteran that's proven.
Well,
hell, the Packers always got somebody they don't feel like paying.
All right. I think here we get here. No, I'm gonna get to Lamar Jackson. The Steelers got the much needed win at the expense of my Rams. Somebody had to lose and be in a bad position. It happened to be Moran. Dallas. The next,
you talking about having to pay people.
The next 2 games. Sunday night against the Chicago Bears at home. Now Vegas got us a touchdown favorite.
Dallas. You should be because Mitch Trubisky is playing horrible. Jalen Ramsey should be getting like a lot of production.
I hear that. But what happened week 15, Sunday Night Football at Soldier Field?
Bro, that was a completely different year. That was a completely different team. I would not use that as part of your argument.
You know why I'm going to use that part of my argument? Because
look,
everybody, including you, Mr. Trubisky is bad. Mr. Trubisky turned the ball over 5 times in that game.
Yeah, he did.
And they still beat the Rams.
You have to think. Last year, Chicago Bears was the 2017 Jaguars. This year, Chicago Bears are the 2018 Jaguars. Mr. Trubisky was the reason why that team was going to live or die last year. And he did just enough to get them in field goal range, and the kicker dunked it. This year, Mr. Trubisky is the reason why a lot of people are about to get fired.
So the downfall of the Rams with the Chicago Bears. We'll meet up Sunday Night Football. Yeah, these times in California. So
I mean, you don't want to say the Patriots.
No, it started with.
You don't want to say the whole
Chicago. People forget when the Rams was running high, Chicago smashed them, and then Philly came back and did the exact same thing. And then they had to rebrand.
Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the downfall that resulted in you appearing in the Super Bowl and not even getting blown out? If only you could score 2 touchdowns, you would have won yourself a ring. And the downfall started in week 15, and you ended up making the Super Bowl.
It's quite simple. If you can put pressure on Jared Goff, Jared Goff do not move. He's a stationary quarterback. Pretty much the way that San Fran beat up on my
so you mean
it's the same way that Chicago Bears did it last. Line person.
You mean to tell
ain't gonna move and he ain't gonna be at.
You mean to tell me that applying pressure to a quarterback is the quickest way to beat a contender?
Oh, yes. Especially a quarterback like Jared Goff, because if you got a quarterback that's going to be stationary and that's not going to dip and dash and move around, yeah. Because to be honest, did you see the game last night? Russell Wilson is a mobile quarterback, right?
Bro, that's what I said when I made my pick. We both picked Seattle, but when I made my pick, that's what I brought up. That was the first mobile quarterback they faced.
The center was getting beat.
He rolled out just about every play. There were a few plays where he actually made the pass out the pocket.
Did, but he got sacked 7 times.
Well, that's what happens when you roll out a lot.
And he didn't. No, most of those times came when he was in the pocket because they were coming up the middle.
I mean, nobody called the Seahawks offensive line, a favorable unit in that matchup.
Yeah, and then you just made my point. My center, Allen, is done for the season. Robin Havenstein, he will not be playing against the Bears. So guess who Jared Goff has to make sure he keep an eye on all game long?
Who?
Khalil Mack.
What? Andrew Whitworth? He can't handle himself a little Khalil Mack.
He couldn't do it last year.
Oh, wow.
My offensive line is terrible. I'm going to have 2 new starters for the Chicago game. This is not the time to have 2 new starters when you're going to play the Chicago Bears who has a defensive lineman. Oh, to make matters worse, guess who? We on Monday Night Football the week after, and guess who we got? Lamar Jackson.
Who?
Missed the video game himself.
See, that's different because Jalen Ramsey don't mean a damn thing when you play against the Ravens at this point. Jalen Ramsey actually might be a liability because he tackles. He's a big corner. He'll hit somebody every once in a while, but that play action is about to be something serious.
Not to mention the Cowboys is on the schedule. We do take a trip to Arlington, Texas. We still got another day.
Can't go 500 unless
we still got another day with the Seattle Seahawks down in California. And we got to go to the Bay Area to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Not to mention, somehow, some way, if I felt like Arizona might catch 1 of the 2 games we still got with them.
Kyler and Cliff are figuring it out as they go along. So I could see that. Because in any division, against any opponent, the Patriots are an anomaly. It is hard to not split against their division rivals. That wasn't going to be a neither here nor there thing, but in the current situation you're in, I can see why that's a little bit more severe. Oh, and by the way, to kind of lead credence to your point as far as the game this week, Bears are 4th in scoring defense, 9th in total defense, and 9th in rushing defense. They're 15th in passing defense, but it doesn't matter because, Todd Gurley's been struggling a little bit lately, and now he's going up against a top 10 rushing defense. So that basically means Jared Goff's going to throw.
He had no carries he had no touches in the 4th quarter.
He's hurt. He is hurt. That man is hurt. They're clearing him because for an average human being, he would be okay. As an NFL player, though, that man is hurt. That is the only way to explain it. This is a cliff, a steep cliff. This is Death Valley deep. This cliff is here.
So before you was trying to get into the records of Seattle and San Fran, our 8-win teams, I was looking at my schedule like it don't even matter. Both teams could have been 6 and whatever at this point, and it wouldn't have mattered because I know we have the 5th toughest schedule remaining, and I just read them off for you. I mean, realistically, do I feel comfortable in? Damn near none of them.
Well, I mean, see, you're 5-4 right now. To go 500, you need to go 3-4. So, since we've talked about it this much, might as well finish the job. Which 3 do you think you can get to make sure you go 500, Darnell?
I don't see 3. We're in week 11, so...
Whoa, wait. No, come on.
The Bears this week.
Do what you guys just did.
The Bears this week, the Ravens next week. Who we got after that? After that, we have...
Now, look, I like to kick a man when he's down. I'm not going to lie. But, bro, I had more than enough of my giggles in the Super Bowl. I don't want you guys to have given away the haul that you did for a cornerback that you still have to pay. And you're telling me that this season's basically a wash after you paid that franchise quarterback, which you shouldn't have paid that franchise quarterback, but you did. So the season after you pay your quarterback and you take the gamble on getting the best cornerback in football, you're going to sit here and have a losing record?
We might not have a losing record, but it don't matter. We're not going back to the playoffs. This season is a loss. This season is a loss.
What will football be like if the Rams and Chargers both don't make the playoffs?
Oh, the Chargers ain't making the playoffs either. Chargers ain't making the playoffs either.
But that's the bigger issue, bro. The Chargers and the situation they're in, that is extreme. But we both know that football in Los Angeles has failed multiple times. Now, ever since those two franchises moved to Los Angeles, they've been competitive. I don't know what happens a season where both don't make the playoffs.
Oh, I can tell you what happens. That's why they got an NBA season right now. You got the Kings of the LA. Last year was football. This year is basketball.
What? Darnell, that's the thing. You're missing the point. Who gives a damn about the Rams and the Chargers in Los Angeles? And now y'all both gonna miss the playoffs? And how much does this new stadium cost? Better be multi-purpose. Better host some bowl games. Better get you a Peach Bowl bid in there, because got to make that money back.
For the Chargers, ain't no money.
Be a shame if you couldn't get
money for the Chargers. No matter who they playing, it's an away game for them. They have 16 away games.
But see, at least with the Chargers, you can get that rent. I'm talking about your franchise and your owner and the fact that he done spent all this money for Inglewood and building this big old stadium. Bruh, I don't know. It's 1 year, and I'm sure the marketing teams are doing fine. I'm sure grabbing a superstar like Jalen Ramsey is good. Todd Gurley is still having a lot of commercials. We'll figure that out later, I guess. But, I mean, dude, that's not a good look business-wise. Pure business-wise, that ain't a good look if both teams miss the playoffs.
I'm telling you both teams miss the playoffs. Ain't no if. I'm telling you.
For the sake of those two owners and the NFL, I'll say if, just to, make the sting hurt less, because, that's not going to be a good look. And Kawhi, it's one thing when, you have the Lakers being the Lakers, Darnell. It's one thing when the Dodgers do what the Dodgers do. But, bro, the Clippers actually have a team to be excited about. And this isn't Lob City either. This might be a team that actually can sustain the wear and tear of the playoffs. Two teams, one coming back up, one might be the best it's ever been. Might get past second round of the playoffs. That's not a good look for the NFL in LA. It's not a good look.
It's basketball season. We're done. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's a long process. It's a hard thought out process. Yeah, I know. I was there from March of this year, thinking about how I'm going to do this, doing all my research, trying to get everything right. What platforms can we use and how we going to record it and how we going to make it sound good and make it all this happen.
And then I came upon Anchor. The Anchor app on my phone, the easiest choice I could ever make to do a podcast. It's free to use. You don't gotta pay for nothing. You can record episodes whenever you're ready. You can edit it, and then you can release them when you want to. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how you're going to distribute it on other platforms, because Anchor has partnerships with Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, whatever you name it. Because the Playmakers Wild podcast is the podcast that I use. We are on all them platforms. We are on 9 platforms just by using the Anchor app. So pretty much all the questions that you have questions about doing a podcast, go to the Anchor app or go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com, and just search through it, ask questions. Because I tell you, a free app that does all this, there's nothing more you can ask for. I even got friends, they doing their podcast on the Anchor app. Faith Talk, you might have heard of it because it's very good. And it's great that it's an app like this, it's a website like this that makes it easier for people to do podcasts and do what they love best, talking about the things that they love to talk about. So give Anchor a try, see how much you like it. We'll love to hear your podcast.
It won't supposed to be a long episode, but you know. Pittsburgh is at Cleveland Thursday night. Do I think Cleveland Browns because if you go for this hand, I'm picking Pittsburgh.
That Cleveland win against Buffalo was a classic Cleveland win. Down and out, franchise about to be in turmoil, quarterback in shambles, wide receivers yelling at the quarterback to where, like, Jarvis Landry was literally yelling to Baker, throw the ball. On the sideline, you could read his lips. Like, if they had lost that game, heads might have rolled. And they beat a team who was looking really, really good at first. Now we're worried if they're going to make the playoffs or have an epic collapse and beat Buffalo. Like, this is the trap game. Some people who didn't want to believe the truth in the preseason might think that Cleveland has figured it out, but Darnell, don't fall into the trap. Defense wins championships.
I just said I'm picking Pittsburgh.
And ain't gonna. Yeah, but I'm talking to you because you're on the phone. But Darnell, tell the people around you don't fall into the trap.
They can do whatever.
Don't do it.
We both said at the beginning of the season we didn't believe in Cleveland. And they, in somehow, some way, look where we at. Even though we both picked Pittsburgh to win the division, but that was clearly a mistake. But we was right about Cleveland.
The crazy thing is about Pittsburgh, though, it looks like a clear mistake in hindsight. But now I'm starting to wonder. Because youth and experience and everybody knowing that a young quarterback has a superstar wide receiver, let's cover him. It would have been interesting to see them being in the 6th seed as of now, them coming back down from an 0-3 start. What would have happened if Ben Roethlisberger was still in? That being said, I mean, Pittsburgh's going to win this game. And even more interestingly, like, I think this gets them to, what does it get them to? 5 or 6 wins?
There will be 6 and
6-5. 6-4? Oh God. 6-4, 2 games over 500 after an 0-3 start, and another division win. They're not catching the Ravens. Lamar Jackson they're not going to collapse. I think the best shot that the Steelers have is to get the Ravens in the playoffs. Because they're going to be a wild card team. They should hope that they get the Ravens in the playoffs just for familiarity's sake. When you play a division rival, you have a chance. And if you play it like, oh God, the Chiefs are going to be in the wild card. Jesus.
Yo, Jazz are playing.
But my God.
Would Jacoby Brissett play that?
Are they being led by Brian Hoyer?
We don't know that.
Are they being led by
Jacoby Brissett is still up in the air right now.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, Darnell, I mean, just hear me out. This is going to sound like an emotional pick, but no, it's actually quite logical. Bro, they better win this game. I'm picking the Jaguars just straight off of principle because, bro, you told Gardner before the bye week about the quarterback change because you knew how pissed he would be. And he ended up being that pissed. He's going to address the media on Wednesday. I have no idea why. I have absolutely no idea why you would have a 6th-round pick rookie that just got benched for the franchise quarterback coming back from injury, a 10-week injury, addressing the media. What for? You know what they're going to ask him. Have fun with that, especially if the kid decides to be honest because he doesn't know if he's going to get a shot in the league again. But, bro, you better win this game. Jacoby Brissett or not, you better win this game. Because it's not going to be good.
I'm picking the home team. I'm picking the Colts. And it has nothing to do with what's going on with Jacksonville. Because my next pick is the reason why. Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson get together up in Baltimore.
So wait, okay, connect that dot real quick.
You have two dynamic quarterbacks. Two guys in the NBA. Along with Russell Wilson. All happen to be black. Just to throw that out. Lamar Jackson's a goddamn video game. He doing stuff people that can't stop talking about. Deshaun Watson, they got through a touchdown with one eye. But he got kicked in the face and still threw a touchdown pass. Who does that? Houston's coming off a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson coming off of beating the Patriots at home and doing what he did to the Cincinnati Bengals on the road. Now he gets to come back home.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore has the better defense. So the Colts will come that much closer of getting control of the division yet again.
So are you doing this because of a preseason pick you made?
No,
or
I picked Houston to win the division. But
so how does your Colts pick connect with
I'm
this game?
saying because I know Houston, I believe 90% believe Houston's losing this game. And the Colts know they need to win. Because there's most likely the way that things are shaping up, Oakland might catch a wild card spot.
Well, I would say this because I think the reasoning is off to me, but I think your overall premise is reasonable. With that being said, Jacoby Brissett and the injury report are going to be very important to pay attention to because this is a must-win game. Like whatever your feelings are about the Jaguars, I'm not just talking about you, anybody in general, especially people in Jacksonville. Whatever your feelings are about the Jaguars and how their season is going to turn out, this is a must-win game for the Colts. It's a desperation win for the Jaguars. That being said, if the Colts don't roll out Jacoby Brissett, if after the game that Brian Hoyer had last week against the Dolphins, they feel like they can adjust and coach and game plan for the Jaguars and have Brian Hoyer go out there again in a division game they got to win, I don't know. This is the kind of game where you tell your quarterback, ice up, son. We need you. So he's still up in the air, but it's like, nah, bro. Like, if that's going to be the logic, if that organization is in must-win mode, if teams are looking like at the back or whatever, like, nah, you gotta play Jacoby this week and deal with the union later or whatever. Because, yeah, Baltimore is winning that game. The question is, how much do they win it by? No J.J. Watt. That back end is suspect. Like, in a terrible game, in a horrendous game, the game that got him benched, Gardner Minshew still threw for over 300 yards on that defense. And that was holding him handedly in check. So that defense gives up yards. Now you're going to be giving up yards to a quarterback who's going to put it in the end zone with his feet or with his arm. It's not going to be a good look. What's the spread? Do you know?
Let's see here real quick. Because Deshaun Watson's going to keep him in the game.
I don't know.
They're not going. They have a Heisman package.
Bro, I don't know. Deshaun Watson, God bless him. He is the best quarterback in the AFC South. The Houston Texans right now are probably going to win the AFC South again. They're the class of the division right now, especially with Andrew Luck being retired. But, bro, I don't know.
Dude.
Because it's not just the Houston Texans defense that's the problem. It's the fact that the Ravens will and can run the ball. They're going to keep the man off the field. You go 3 and out once, it's a problem.
4-point spread.
I wouldn't take that.
They have a nice one
probably anymore.
With Lamar, Mark Ingram, and Robert Griffin.
John Harbaugh, before he became a head coach, was a special teams coach. He was a special teams coordinator. He is one of the few examples in the NFL of going straight from special teams to the head job. And a guy who thinks as unorthodox as he does is the only one to utilize that kind of talent and have an option package in the NFL. Nobody else is having a triple option package in the NFL, except for a guy who realizes, I have the personnel for a triple option package in the NFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cowboys, they should rebound because they play in Detroit and Mark Stafford. Because once y'all get out of hand of y'all business, you need to find a TV because you can be in Detroit. You need to hurry find a TV, find a restaurant, whatever you want to do. Because at 425, the defending Super Bowl champion, we ain't gonna pay you to take a trip to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles.
Lord. They're probably gonna market this as like the rematch or whatever, or however they market it. You know they're going to be the commercials. You know that's going to be the pregame narrative or whatever. But this is completely different. Nick Foles is in a different city. This is not a rematch of that game, no matter how they try to market it. However, it's also going to be an opposite result. It's not even going to be as good as the 2004 result. This game going to be bad. This game going to be rough.
So you taking the pictures and the point.
Yeah.
The point.
I don't even know what the spread is. I really have to know. Oh, bruh. Oh, bruh. Well, who they can't catch on an average defense.
I mean, both teams coming off
how they gonna catch?
Both teams coming off a bye week. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
But that's the thing, Darnell. Bill Belichick is coming off a bye week. One of the few times since he's been a coach / defensive coordinator in the NFL, somebody has been able to walk in and do exactly what they always do. John Harbaugh told the entire league what he was going to do the entire offseason. Bill Belichick had all that time to prepare. Lamar Jackson just styled on him the entire game. And you mean to tell me Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz? Bruh. I'm taking the straight and the points.
Cool. If you know me, you know what my heart is saying. Because I did say they ain't going 15-1. So there's another loss somewhere. Is it the Eagles? Is it the Cowboys? Is it the Texans? I'm not picking the Cowboys.
Oh, you took the Chiefs out?
I'm not picking the Cowboys because that's a Gillette statement. At Philly or at Houston? I'm taking this one. I'm taking Philly. Because Houston doesn't have a defense. We just talked about it. So even though that game is in Houston on Sunday Night Football, that means the Sun wasn't going to do a lot more. A whole lot more to win that game. Oh, Sunday Night Football. Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. LA's a touchdown favorite. And guess what? I'm taking
Chicago.
Monday Night Football, our last international game. This one comes from Mexico City, where the Chiefs looking to rebound against the Chargers, and I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. Poor Phillip Rivers. It's been a great one. Don't know what happens after this year, though, but it's been a great one. You know what the sad thing is, Daniel? The Chargers are going to be in this game. The Chiefs are probably going to have to win on like a field goal or just say, F it, we can't trust our special teams, and have Patrick Mahomes just throw a bazooka on some kind of corner route with like 15 seconds left. Like,
why is the over on the
Chiefs
41.5?
That's it?
There's no way there's no way in hell they're going to come out.
You said Bears, Rams, or Chiefs,
yeah,
Chargers?
Bears, Rams.
No, because what's going to happen is Jared Goff's going to throw like 40-plus times. He'll get his yards. On paper, it'll look like he had a great game and he was worth the money and it was the defense's fault. But in actuality, we will know the truth. I can see 24-21. I can see 28-14. I can see that. But one more thing real quick. I know that the coach with the most wins is probably going to get Coach of the Year. But Mike Tomlin should at least finish in the top 3, if not win the whole damn thing. This man is on his third string quarterback?
No, he's not. He's on his backup.
Well, he played with
Who beat the Chargers, by the way?
he played with his third string quarterback.
By the way.
Yeah, like, bro, like Mason Rudolph, young in his NFL career, but when Ben Roethlisberger went down for the year, it was different. Then James Conner started getting nicked up. Can't handle the Le'Veon Bell workload. Few running backs can. Juju Smith-Schuster, that coverage started rolling over. It was looking a lot different. But Micah Fitzpatrick and that Pittsburgh Steelers defense, they're playing Steelers ball by choice. The light them up, score 45 points, allow 35-point Steelers, those days are gone, and those days are probably done with Ben Roethlisberger being on the last year of a 2-year deal coming off of a season-ending injury. But the way that defense is cooking, the move that they made to get Micah Fitzpatrick, the coaching up that Tomlin is doing for Mason Rudolph to make him just good enough to win some games that they might have a shot in, bro, that is like the definition of coach of the year. Right now, the game breakers on that team are TJ Watt and Micah Fitzpatrick. Two players who were budding stars at their position, but they are higher than a Pro Bowl level right now. A pass rusher and a force in the back end. I mean, they won 17-12. It wasn't like they had the best day on offense. Micah Fitzpatrick, if anything, helped seal the game with his defensive touchdown. So, I mean, bro, Mike Tomlin, everybody was bagging on that man, but we have to play it both sides of the coin. He is doing a phenomenal job up there in Pittsburgh.
Seattle Seahawks. The San Fran talk can be shut up for a week.
Oh, and by the way, a quarterback is winning MVP this year. It sucks. Some people on my Facebook don't want to believe it. They're in denial. They're showing me graphics of how many yards Dalvin Cook has right now compared to how many Adrian Peterson had when he won MVP in 2012. Bro, a quarterback is winning this year.
You know,
MVP is about there.
In this argument for it because you don't need the pick that you seen Russell Wilson through last night. That was his second pick of the whole season. That's first. Second of all, if you have not watched Lamar Jackson all season, go and look at the highlights. MVP when we get to these picks because who Lamar Jackson is going up against, yeah, he's in that conversation too. Mm-hmm. So go back and look at Russell Wilson. Look back at Lamar Jackson being a video game because he literally is being a video game in real life. I don't care. The Bengals. I don't care. The Bengals ain't win no game. This is still a divisional rivalry game, and what he did to the Bengals was just disrespectful.
And I understand why this year's MVP race was so significant. We had 3 black quarterbacks and a white running back. It literally flipped the entire, like, white running backs are too slow, they can't move, and the whole black quarterbacks aren't good enough, it can't, like, it flipped the whole narrative over, and that's a great thing. But, bro, like, I hate to say it, you guys can keep saying the tweet if you want to sound woke. You guys can keep saying the tweet if you guys want to help keep the narrative in like a good place, but no running back is winning MVP this year.
With that being said, let's get into these bits because
this is a
that's all I got for you. Yes, I am picking against the Rams. And most likely I'm going to do it again next week because we playing Falcons.
Boy, you know what I mean.
We're
you
done.
have a shutdown corner at least.
We're done. The Chargers are done.
Yeah.
Jacksonville is still hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, but you know,
but here come the
it's like a Hulk Hogan hairpiece, though. It's a thin thread. So, but yeah.
I don't want to be Tampa Bay right now, being the one team that got to play the Saints after what the Falcons.
Yeah, because I mean, one or two things are going to happen. Them running backs are going to get used, or Drew Brees is about to light them up. Either way, not good. Not good.
That's all I got for you. You can catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Oh, yo. What?
Who does Miami play?
Does that even matter? They play Buffalo. Yeah, it don't matter.
I just wanted to see if they had a chance to keep this weird thing going.
So Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook at the Playmakers Stuff on Facebook, at Playmakers Stuff on Twitter. All this good stuff. And yeah, have fun because you know he's trolling on Twitter like every 2 minutes.
Lots of retweets, lots of commentary, lots of criticism. Should win a damn Pulitzer.
So,
But you know,
college football.
I will let you
Didn't
know.
catch the college football one because the interesting discussion has taken place when we talk about this top 5 ranking of the group of 5.
Yes.
Because the AP season one
The
way,
first-
but the football season another way.
This might have to be the actual first discussion because, I mean, the AP is saying something that I might not be able to jive with. So we're going to have to see what the college football playoff poll says because the AP actually made it kind of easy. They put everybody in the exact order, but the college football playoff, as we all know, is wildly different. And, you know, rebounding and winning against the SEC team on the road, you know, that might interest some people. That might have impressed some people that weren't impressed in the AP committee.
Yeah, I threw on the team in there that we haven't talked about all season. They probably should be talking about it. Check that out. And don't worry, you Arsenal fans, we just waiting. Because Survivor Series. Actually, this might be one of the Survivor Series. That's actually looking forward to seeing for once.
Yeah, like, I mean, surely you all understand why, you know, it's hard to work with what they've been giving us lately, especially with taped international shows and results and all that stuff. But yes, this Survivor Series is shaping up to be very, very good. The takeover beforehand is going to be very, very interesting because we know that they will be pulling 2-day duty. So all that's going to be fun to talk about. Stuff around the industry will be fun to talk about. It'll be a fun little episode if I get into it. You just be patient and wait.
So, until next time, people.
And, you know, enjoy your raisin in the sun right now, Nashville. Congratulations, with all sincerity. I just hope you keep